How we doing there, boys and girls? Manthieus here, and welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to take a little bit of a look at some of the new race and class combinations that we're going to have access to play with soon as the Dragonflight pre-patch goes live. Now the pre-patch is only minutes away for many of us at this point, so hopefully by the time you get to watch this video, you should be able to jump in game and have a little bit of a play with these combinations yourself. But before we get too deep, please remember to hit that like button. It really does help the channel with the YouTube algorithm, and consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. I've seen a huge influx of new faces around here recently, so welcome in to all of you. Hope you're enjoying the content. But let's get into today's video. So for a long time, it's only been the luxury of warriors, hunters and death knights who've had access to all of the different races in the game. Blizzard confirmed quite recently though in an interview with Mr. GM that both rogues, mages and also priests are going to be added to this illustrious list.
Come over time, but immediately on 10.0 we're going to be making rogues, mages and priests available for all races.
Rogues are going to be added to the Tauren, they're going to be added to the High Mountain Tauren, the Draenei and also the Lightforged Draenei. This is going to mean those little stealthy stabby boys can run around as big cows. It's quite an interesting combination to me, and is clearly going to be one of my first picks when creating a new alt, I think, going forward. Mages are also being added to the Tauren and the High Mountain Tauren, as they've been lacking from there for quite some while. And finally, priests are being added to both the Orcs and also the High Mountain Tauren as well. This is bringing a total of 8 new class and spec combinations, and I think it's going to be quite interesting to see just how we can kit these characters out and how many of them we start to see running around the world. This is all as well before we even take into consideration the Dracthyr Evokers, the new main big ticket, big selling point for the Dragonflight expansion. I do keep my fingers crossed that hopefully we'll be able to have more combinations with the Dracthyr than just the Evoker class, simply because it's quite a unique model, even if they look a little bit more like skinny lizards rather than dragons in my opinion. But I'd be really enjoying to have either a mage or a hunter, or maybe even a demon hunter Dracthyr at some point. You know, the combinations could be quite interesting. Now, all of this said, it does bring about a little bit of a problem. For some of us who've been playing this game for many, many years and are a little bit of an altaholic, we may be slowly encroaching, or some of us may have even reached the 50 character account limit. But do not fret, Blizzard have come forward and have given us the information that with the pre-patch, they're also going to be upping the limit to 60 characters per account. It's only an additional 10, which is just enough for each one of these new class and race combinations, and maybe a couple of Dracthyrs spotted around different realms as well. I would have personally liked to see this quantity go up a little bit more than just 10. I really don't understand what the arbitrary need for having such a restriction on characters is nowadays. If you can have 50 or you can have 60, you might as well let people have 70, 80, 90 or 100. I don't think it really matters too much at this point. But then again, I guess maybe Blizzard would rather you go out and buy an entirely second account. Some of us bigger goblins out there have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or even 8 different accounts running just to keep all of our characters on. But the question asked by many people is, why would you even want this many alts? Is there anything useful you can be doing with them? And, you know, what's the point? I'm a big altaholic myself. I have a huge amount of characters across a huge amount of different realms, and I tend to be pretty bad at utilizing them. But if you do want to do something with them, here's a couple of ideas for you to maybe play with. Firstly, there's the mission tables. The mission tables are not a new thing in World of Warcraft. I think we first saw our mission table in some form back in Warlords of Draenor, and since then every expansion's had some variation of a mission table. Now this is changing in Dragonflight. The mission table is not present in Dragonflight in any way, shape or form, but that doesn't mean you can't still leave your alts at the Shadowlands one. If you had leveled those characters up to 60, keeping your characters at the mission tables will still provide you a steady supply of things like polished pet charms. You maybe get some of the old past expansion materials, albeit they're not particularly worthwhile anymore. If you take a little bit of a look in the auction house, you'll probably find most of Shadowlands materials remarkably cheap at this point, as everybody tries to dump them, but the mission tables will still be there. They are going to likely nerf most of the gold rewards from the mission tables like they do at the end of most expansions, but there's still some value to be had. Polished pet charms, reputation tokens, maybe even that last few bits of transmog, who knows. Another thing you can do with your alts is use them for running the old raids. If you're into collecting your transmog and toys and mounts and that sort of thing, the old raids are going to become even easier to solo once we're all level 70. Now, I do understand not all of your alts are strictly going to be level 70, but it doesn't take much levels or much gear to be able to solo a lot of these old dungeons, and there is some interesting rewards to be had from them, namely some of the mounts. If you are a bit of a mount collector, there's still plenty of old mounts to collect from dungeons and raids of past days, and having more alts and giving yourself more abilities to run through those dungeons, or in turn the raids, which tend to have a week-long lockout, the quicker you'll get your hands on all of the goodies. And in relation to farming up all the old goodies, all the toys and all the mounts and all the transmog, another very popular option for your alts is to camp them at rare spawn locations. The more characters you have, the more rare spawns you can dot around, and it doesn't take much maintenance. You just log on to that alt very sporadically, hope that the rare is up on your server, on the shard that that character happens to be on, and if it is, pew pew away and keep your fingers crossed. Who knows, you might get access to some of those rarer, more elusive transmog patterns, those mounts, or even some toys as well. But that's it for today, boys and girls. That's basically the new class and race combinations. I want to wish you the best of luck with Prepatch going live in a matter of minutes, and of course with the launch of Dragonflight. Leave me a comment down below. What's your new favourite class and race combination out of these? Which one interests you the most? As I said earlier, I think I'm going to be a big fan of the big cow rogues. There's something ironic about a stealthy rogue also being a cow. I don't know. So it just makes me laugh. But give the video a like if you enjoyed it, boys and girls. Consider subscribing if you're new around here, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.